Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's October 26th, 2016. One of the big headlines today, the earthquake in Italy. In fact, the two earthquakes. And these are very similar headlines to what we read not long ago. It was August 24th, 2016, early in the morning, local time in Italy, that they were hit with a powerful earthquake and then a powerful aftershock. I put out a video on that earthquake and I talked about what was so interesting about the specific time it happened at 3:36 in the morning where it struck, the 216th minute of the day. Well, today's earthquake is directly connected to what I was talking about. So I'm going to show you what's suspicious about today and how that syncs up with what happened on August 24th. And if you missed my video from August 24th, I'm going to link it in the description. It's the more important video to watch between the two, but this is further evidence of what I was speaking about. And the purpose of these videos is for people to understand that we are governed over by people who are truly insane, people who have had things that have lasted for decades called underground nuclear weapons testing programs. It's entirely possible that the madmen who run our governments worldwide, we do live under the New World Order. It's an old world order, and it stretches from the U.S. to Rome and a whole lot of other places. But these people are truly doing rituals by the numbers, such as detonating bombs underground and triggering earthquakes along fault lines or however they've figured out to do it. So let me show you what's so interesting about this coming today, October 26th, 2016. From August 24th, the date of the last earthquake, to today is 63 days. And in 2016, that's a big number. If you count every number 1 through 16, 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to 63, it sums to 2016, like the year we're in on the Gregorian calendar, which was created by Pope Gregory from the Catholic Church, which goes back to Italy, Rome, the Vatican. So with regards to 63 days, the number 6 is in there, the number 3 is in there. The numerology of 63 is 6 plus 3 equals 9. It's also exactly 9 weeks. What I talked about on August 24th was the tribute to Nikola Tesla, who said he had the power to create earthquakes. And he also gave us some other riddles, such as, if you only knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe. This earthquake on August 24th, it happened at the 216th minute of the day, 3:36 in the morning. That's what the big focus was on, how the clocks were all stopped right at 3:36. See if I can get this up here for you. 3:36 in the morning, the 216th minute. 216, a number related with 3, 6, and 9, which I'm about to show you right now. And again, from this earthquake that stopped the clocks at 3:36 to today is 63 days. So here's what it is. When you watch this video, let me minimize myself and just make this bigger. This is from this summer. What we're looking at here, this chart with the numbers across the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What this chart is the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence, that's where you go with this number sequence. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 2 plus 3 equals 5. 3 plus 5 equals 8. 5 plus 8 equals 13. 13 plus 8 equals 21. Do you see how I'm adding the most recent number to the number that came before it? So what this is this first column is the Fibonacci sequence, and then with each of those numbers we talked about broken down to its numerology. So remember, 5 plus 8 is 13. Well, in numerology, 1 plus 3 is 4. So that's why in this chart it becomes 4. And then 8 plus 13 is 21. The reason in this chart it's 3 is because 2 plus 1 is 3. Are you following what I'm saying, where my cursor is and what I'm talking about? 13 plus 21 would be the next sequence, which is 34. 3 plus 4 in numerology breaks down to 7. That's why it's 7 on this chart. So if you're following me, this is the Fibonacci sequence broken down in numerology, the first 24 numbers in that sequence. What the second column is the Fibonacci sequence starting with the number 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 4 is 6. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 plus 6 is 16, you see? It's this sequence and then broken down in numerology. Then starting with 3, then starting with 4, then starting with 5. Are you following? Doing this same Fibonacci sequence, then breaking them all down in numerology. Well, what happens when you do this is you find this pattern with 3, 6, and 9. Across every single number, every third number, notice the third column over, the sixth column over, the ninth column over, all of those numbers are either 3, 6, or 9 in those rows, in those columns. Then, going downwards, every fourth column, you also find a pattern of 3, 6, and 9 emerging. You know, a perfectly symmetrical pattern. So these are 216 numbers that create this pattern. 24 going down, 9 across. 24 times 9, 216. 216 with the pattern with 3, 6, 9. 3, 6, 9. So this is what the earthquake was about on August 24th. It had this coding for 369, 216, plus a lot of other things which I go into greater detail in the video linked in the description. But again, think about that in light of this coming 63 days later in the year 2016 when I'm saying, are these people truly scripting rituals such as earthquakes by the numbers? Now look. Here's another part of the theory that I talk about. A lot of this scripting is according to the Revelation and Prophecy Code. Revelation, the 66th book of most Bibles. Think about Rome, the Catholic Church, Christianity. The book of Revelation is the book of prophecy and destruction that closes out the Bible. It's based on the 39 books of the Old Testament, which to me has always seemed strange, because the Old Testament's for the Jews, the New Testament's for the Christians. And in Revelation it says the false Jews will rule in the end times. Those are the same people who control your media, your government, your one world order. You know, their central headquarters that they put in front of our face that is the New World Order agenda is the United Nations, which created the Zionist state of Israel for the false Jews who are named in the book of Revelation, said to rule in the end times. So anyway, today, October 26th, the day that leaves 66 days left in the year. Today is a date with 52 numerology. The word prophecy equals 52. You know, Revelation, the 66th book, the book of prophecy. There were multiple earthquakes today. Today's date, I forgot to write it up here. It also has a life lesson number of 45. 10 plus 26 is 36, and then you break down this year, digit for digit, which is plus 9 more. So 10 plus 26 is 36, plus 9 more is 45. That's supposed to be on my blog post. Sometimes I forget to write things down that are in my head. Apologies. But anyway, earthquakes equals 45, like Holy Bible, like Gutenberg, the name of the original printed Bibles, which were called Gutenberg Bible. 66 books in them, Gutenberg Bible 66. Remember, Matthew equals 27, 27 books in the New Testament. Genesis equals 33, like Big Bang. Number of masonry, number of magic. In the reporting down here, some suspicious numbers. 5.5 first quake, 58 kilometers, also 36, 369. 58's the number of Freemasonry. Look at this. I'm going to show this to you. This is a calculator. This is a tool you want to write down. You want this calculator at Writing the Beast, writingthebeast.com. English reduction. I'll show you what this does here by clicking this breakdown button. This uses the alphabetic order, and it turns each letter into a single digit using numerology. F is the 6th letter. R is the 18th. 1 plus 8 becomes 9. Just like how we broke down the numbers in the Fibonacci sequence. Break down each letter using the alphabetic order. Add it up. Freemasonry 58. Secret Society 58. There's a lodge, a Freemason lodge, not far from my house. It's on Warner Street. Look how perfect that is. We're currently on the Gregorian calendar, which was created by the Catholic Church. And check out how the word Gregorian and calendar sum to 58. For calendar, we went to the method where it just uses the alphabetic order. But 58, a special number. Rod Serling, the pilot episode of The Twilight Zone came out in 1958. Rod Serling equals 58. I'll show you something about this guy's name and his show. The Twilight Zone equals 84. United States of America equals 84. His last name's Serling, Rod Serling, who wrote the show. And the show's loaded with gematria. Decode the character names, what the shows are about, you'll see. You learn this language of gematria, you see how they're coding out. But 84, special number to this nation. You know, we teach in the history books that Christopher Columbus, paid for by the Catholic Church, came over here and discovered the land where people already lived and started a slave trade, a genocide, which we call Manifest Destiny. Manifest Destiny, Truth Seeker, really interesting one in gematria. Notice how it sums to 66, like Revelation, the Book of Destruction. Revelation, where the name Philadelphia comes from, the original capital. There's something you should know about this calculator. For each S in a word, you can add 9 more for each S, because S can be worth 1 or 10. On this calculator, S is worth 1 every time. It can be worth 10, though, in this study. If you add 18 more, it sums to 84, like United States of America, like the Twilight Zone, like a lot of things in this nation's history. You know, the man who wrote the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson. I just almost called him Jefferson Thomas. He's one of those names that's 66 as well, with 2 S's, you see? Died on the same day as John Adams, synced up with the death of Monroe. So anyway, close this thing out. They said it was a 5.5. Here's something else. Italy has the same gematria as satanic. And if you know what the Catholic Church is all about, it starts to make a lot of sense. It's very possible the Catholic Church, the Vatican, had a hand in creating the English language. Freemasonry, Zionism, the Catholic Church, they're all part of this same network. They are the New World Order. They all use this language of gematria. Just look, Italy, west, water, satanic, you know, going west across the water to start this crazy nation out of a genocide that we now live in. The word Satan alone has gematria 55. It was a 5.5 quake, the first one. So anyway, just things to think about. Is this organic or is this being man-made? Is this mad science? That's what I lean towards. The powers that be, the people who run us, they're bankers. Destroy and rebuild is a real philosophy. You know, destroy something, have to rebuild it. Then you have to give out loans, you make interest. It's a big Ponzi scheme we live under. These people rule us with a Ponzi scheme that they control. And they control it to our detriment. That's the whole point. This all comes back to control. Freemasons order out of chaos, destroy and rebuild, divide and conquer. Secret society. A secret society very much connected to the establishment of this nation, the Catholic Church. Until next time, Truth Seeker.